Welcome to Chamber Today. This episode will focus on the Chamber itself and how it serves your business and the business community. So sit back and enjoy Chamber Today. Hi, I'm Aaron Stern, a local business owner and member of the Spanish Fork and Salem Area Chamber of Commerce. As members of the Chamber, we're asked by others in the business community, why? Why do we join the Chamber of Commerce? So today we decided that we would focus on just that question. We've invited several members of our Chamber to join in this conversation. With me, I have Jesse Carden from Grifols Biomat and the past chair of the Chamber's Board of Directors. Jesse will assist as a moderator. Also, we have Briley Pace from Dickerson Automotive, Mercedes Reber with the Fellas Chop Shop, and Tyler Moore from Lions Pride Insurance. Welcome, everyone. It should be a fun, lively discussion.
Hey, thanks for being here, guys. So we're just going to start off we want to ask you some questions about the Chamber. Like, why did you decide to join the Chamber? Mercedes, let's start with you.
So I wanted to be a part of the community. That's why I opened a business rather than like renting a booth and cutting hair somewhere else. Everywhere I had worked in the past, like they just weren't really like community driven, but I wanted to be. I wanted to do things like for the kids, for adults, for anybody in the community. So that's what it was for me.
Gotcha. Tyler, what about you?
So I grew up in a small business, so my family was in the Chamber from the time I was really little. And so I knew when I started my business, I was like, okay, cool, Chamber of Commerce is something I should just jump into as soon as I can.
Right.
So when you joined, you kind of knew what to expect as far as involvement in the Chamber.
Yeah. I knew that there was a lot about if you're there for events, that's where you're going to get the benefits from it and things like that.
Okay. What about you guys? When you guys joined the Chamber, did you know how much was going to be involved?
My situation's a little different because Todd is our owner of Dickerson Automotive, and he was in it from the beginning when we
Todd's been around a lot,
opened. And so when I actually started working for Todd, he was getting so busy that he felt like he was kind of slacking in duties in a way that he wanted to be able to have someone present at every Chamber event. So he actually hired me hoping that would be kind of what I could help step up when he wasn't able to attend.
Okay.
And so I kind of got more thrown into the Chamber.
Right.
I didn't know what I was signing up for. No, I'm just kidding. It's wonderful. I absolutely love it, but it has been, mine's kind of different that I didn't, in a way, choose to do it, but I'm so proud that we're a part of it. It is something that we really are honored to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, Todd's been a past president. He's been very involved and very, just very available.
Yeah, and he just hated that he felt like he wasn't able to attend every ribbon cutting so we really try, my schedule is geared around Chamber events, so that's kind of cool that I always try and make sure that one of us is present at all things.
Yeah.
Tyler, how long were you doing business, or how did you start your business before you joined the Chamber? Was it like immediately, hey, I joined the Chamber, or was it a gradual thing?
Yeah, I basically joined the Chamber before I actually opened my doors so that we could have the ribbon cutting, because I knew when I opened I wanted to have the big ribbon cutting and all that. So it was awesome that the Chamber was able to provide that, the cake, tons of people there. It was a great way to get exposure really quickly for a new business.
And as you did the ribbon cutting, what did the Chamber provide? They obviously brought a ribbon and a cake. You can't forget the cake.
And some big scissors.
And some big scissors. But what else did that do for exposure for your business? Did that propel it? What did that look like?
Yeah, it was really big because it got us connections really quickly with people around the community, with the different businesses that we wanted to connect with. So it was a really very quick way to say, hey, we're here, we're a part of the community, and we want to get to know you. And
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. What about expectations? So when you guys joined the Chamber, Mercedes, what were your expectations coming in?
I had no idea. I was talked into it by a Chamber member, and I was like, I don't know if I have time, but I had no idea what I was getting myself into or what it was going to be like. It's still evolving every single year. It's different than it was the year before. So, but yeah, my expectations were, I don't know, nothing. I had no idea.
Yeah, it definitely evolves, and that's what's so cool is I think, at least when I was on the board and still as a member, it adapts to the needs of the membership.
Right.
Yeah.
Bradley, you said something about Todd wanted to be a part of the Chamber, right? He wanted to make sure that somebody in his business was so a part of it. Why do you feel like that was such an important thing to Todd?
I think it is just a networking. You make such good connections you become friends with everybody there, and I don't know if all chambers are that way or if it's just like specialized here in Spanish Fork, but it really is a community. And so when we're there, we're making connections. We're seeing it'll be people will just come up to me and be like, "I'm so glad you came in. I remember I need this done to my car." Like you're just reminding people too. It's kind of a branding and just having someone there and support. When you have ribbon cuttings, it's important to like know that the other businesses, like we are here to support you in any way. I think a lot of times people forget to actually ask for help, and I think the chamber really helps with that. It helps you be like, I have a need here, and what, like, who can I connect with? So I think just having someone present all the time is really important for Todd.
Right.
Yeah, I think the networking really does make a big difference, because I
It's
know,
huge.
like you mentioned, I mean, if I'm looking for a service, the first thing I'm going to think of is, who do I know from the chamber who does this?
Yeah.
You know,
And I think sometimes we think we associate the chamber with, you know, oh, it's an event, it's a ribbon cutting, or, you know, those are parts of the chamber, but the other part, that relationship side, that networking side, and how we grow our businesses, how we do things. There's also a cost associated with the chamber that sometimes can be a barrier for some people. How Mercedes, sorry.
It's
Let's
okay.
start with that. How has that not been a barrier for you? Obviously, you've been a part of the chamber since you guys opened, but why has the cost not been a barrier for you?
The membership cost
Yeah.
is what you're saying. For me, like, it's been totally worth it. I mean, nearly all of the chamber members come into my shop and get their hair cut. So, I mean, just alone off of the chambers, it's more than what my chamber membership even costs. So I get all these extra benefits from the chamber on top of the income.
Right.
So
Tyler, if we were talking to someone else, or if you were talking to another insurance agency, you probably have a peer group of people. If they were concerned about that cost, how would you help them to not have that concern?
Yeah. I mean, when I first joined, because my family had been in it, I didn't see the business that was brought in from it. I thought it was more about just kind of giving back to the community, which is awesome. It definitely provides that. But what did surprise me is that if I were to be talking to another agent about that, was that there are a lot of people in the chamber that are looking for your services, for the things that you're offering, and it gets you in front of them. And not only that, but they're working to help you grow as well. So they'll be looking for people, and as they're talking to friends and family, they're like, oh, hey, this is something you can do, something you can provide. Let me send them over your way. So a lot of referrals and things.
Can I add to that? Like, I think one part for me is that Todd, when he was like, I really want someone to kind of be the face for me, I was like, a little hesitant. And he's like, come to one new networking lunch.
Yeah.
Just come to one,
Yeah.
and then you can see. And so I think that's huge for anyone that's questioning it. You don't have to pay to come for your first time. It's free for the first time to come to the new networking. And so the business, they're really not out anything except that lunch hour.
right?
And so what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Like, I think come and it proves itself.
Yeah, you mentioned new networking. You know, we talk about bringing business in the door, but one thing that's also cool too, I think, which really is a big value, is just, you mentioned networking, but you meet people from different businesses, and like, it's a good referral and reference. So like, if you have a question about a business question, you can always call somebody you met. Because I get calls all the time from people saying, hey, I know you did this, but what do you think about this thing I'm doing? And so you have a lot of great references to refer back to.
I want to touch on that too.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually the biggest thing for
Yeah.
me is, so when I opened the fellows, I was only 23.
Yeah.
And I was actually scared to go into the chamber because I'm 23 years old and all these other business owners are older than me.
Yeah.
But actually, it was not just like the networking part, but being able to ask like questions like,
Yeah.
how did you get your employees to show up on time or whatever?
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Like, let me help you. And like, I think that's been the biggest thing for me is having business owners help me know that I'm not going crazy and they have the same thing and they went through the same trials,
Oh yeah,
So-
for sure.
Yeah, the business community, like, it's a partnership, right?
Yeah.
We're all going through
Yeah.
similar but different struggles, but we can
Yeah.
ask and we can resource together, right?
Yeah.
But I think that one thing that happens often in the chamber is people will join the chamber and then we never see them again. We never see them at events. What's the difference, right? What is the difference in that all three of you have been fairly involved, actually all five of us, I would say,
Yeah.
have been pretty involved. But what is that driver? Why do you want to go, or what would you say to somebody who just joins the chamber and never comes? I'll start with you.
That one's kind of tough a little bit, but I think one thing for me is that it's kind of a break in a way. It's kind of like, okay, I can turn off, like, so I can stop doing paperwork for an hour and let me just go visit and kind of talk to other adults. I'm not just in my office for this time crunching numbers or, and so even just to go and have that break and then you build those friendships, it's not so much of a chore to go.
Right.
It's really, you do look forward to those events. It really is kind of a break for me to reset, and it's energizing. I guess there's strength in numbers.
Gotcha.
And you get different ideas going. Like, I know the fellas is wonderful for me. They do a ton of social media, and I get a lot of creative inspiration from them. It helps me to, just you get energies off of everyone that attends.
Right.
And so that's what it's it for me.
Yeah. Let me maybe ask that question, the same question, just slightly different. Is, Sadie, do you feel like you'd get the same amount from the chamber if you didn't put into the chamber?
No, like I think that everyone just kind of wants this like instant gratification, but like the truth is like you only get what you put out, So to answer your question, like maybe a little bit, but not enough to make.
But not
it.
what you're getting
Yeah,
currently.
No.
Right. Tyler, would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like, just like a lot of things, if you spend time to make it effective for you, it's going to be a lot more effective than if you just set it and hope that it plays out the way you think it will.
It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
It's like joining a gym and never going.
Right.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like, what good's your membership if you don't use it?
Well, and I think a lot of businesses are super helpful. Like, if there's sometimes that I can't attend an event, I'll still share the pictures that the chamber is doing. Like, or they'll help share with me. If I'm like, oh, I can't go this time, can you please take this flyer on my behalf? Like, everyone's always willing to help. And so I think that's something that's really helpful. You don't have to attend everything, but also people connect your face to your business. And I'm more willing to go to a business when I've earned their trust and I know the person versus just someone down the street that I'm like, I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
So.
What's your favorite activity that the chamber offers?
I like the new networking lunch, I think. For me, because you get to, I don't know, maybe it's like it's a bigger event, so you get to talk to more people.
Yeah, there's a lot more people that show up to that, yeah.
So you just get to meet different people every time, and you get to sit at a different table, and so I think that's one that I really like.
I'm terrible at going to the noon network meetings. But you should know, every single time I come, they act like I never missed a day. Any of them, I'm like, oh, perfect.
So they welcome you with open arms.
Yeah, they really do. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I just, but I think my favorite is Easter because it's just crazy and I love it. And there's tons of kids and it's hectic and everyone's hands dirty just trying to get stuff done and it's hectic and I love it. So.
Tyler, what about you?
It's hard too, because all the events are awesome. I love the ribbon cuttings again because I definitely have the emotional side of that, but it's so cool to be there for new businesses as they're starting. We've been a part of other chambers, and the Spanish Fork Chamber by far has the best turnout for their ribbon cuttings. So I love that for new businesses.
Yeah, there's a lot of support for new business in the community. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to, like you mentioned, the excitement. When someone's starting their business, there's such like a buzz in the air and there's an excitement. And it's great to kind of help them and be part of that.
And sometimes you learn about businesses that you would otherwise not step foot in, right? Like I'll just be honest, I guess, is I wouldn't have ever went into Wild Ivy because I'm not looking for a blowout or any of those type of things. But learning how they do things and how that team works, it's interesting, it's fun. And then I can refer it to my wife or a friend or whoever comes in contact with me and is like, hey, my daughter needs her hair done for prom and I don't have the time to do it. Do you know somewhere, right? Like we can share those things. But if I don't go to chamber events, I have no idea what's going on in there.
Yeah.
So kind of going with that, we talked about, what you get out, what you put in. We've heard this phrase before, it's like being active in the chamber or being involved in the chamber. All of us have differing degrees of what that actually means, but if I was to say, what does an active member of the chamber look like, what would you say, Tyler?
I would say going to the events and looking for opportunities to help build those events and the other members of the chamber. Because the more you can do, obviously, to give to them, the more it's going to be effective for you. More people are going to give back to you as well.
Mercedes or Bradley, anything to add to that?
Not really. I think you covered it.
Gotcha.
Of what would be like
I think
active.
it's kind of one of those things that, like, if someone does me a favor, I'm more likely, like, even subconsciously to do it for them too. I think we're just kind of creatures of habit that way. And so I think it's like, if I can go, like I'll be like, oh, I want to do a giveaway. Like, yeah, I can do it to the Fella's Chop Shop. Or like, there's other ways to support businesses than just showing up to the events. So I think that's a big one too. And actually giving referrals. Like there's so many people that will hop on social media, especially like on Facebook, and be like, I'm looking for a business that does this. And I always try and hop on there and refer the people in the chamber.
Yeah.
So
What about your perception of the business community? I mean, having not been part of the chamber and now being part of the chamber, how has your perception changed?
So I've always been in the chamber since I've been in business. Is that what you're asking? Before?
No, so like for instance, like before you're a business owner and you're just in a community, you might just drive down Main Street and you're like, oh, there's some businesses.
Before you were a business owner.
But then
okay.
once you get involved in the chamber, at least for me, you just know more about the businesses. Like you mentioned with the Blowout Bar, I mean, you drive past that as, every day. You might not frequent it or go at all, but once you've gone to the ribbon cutting, you now drive past and you're like, oh, I know what they do there. I know the people. I know how they contribute to the community. That's kind of, at least my perception difference.
No, I totally love it because we do a lot of collabs with other businesses. So I love it because I know the owners, and we're doing like a Father's Day one. And I'm like, all right, what's all the businesses around that would have like Father's Day stuff that we can collab with, or Mother's Day? So I love it because I can go right in there and talk to the owner, and I know who they are, and I didn't have to. I met them through the chamber instead of like meeting them shopping their store and saying, hey. It's just easier. So I like that.
Yeah, because we've done like, I know at the boutique some years for Halloween we do the Witches Night Out, where they hit different clothing stores in the community and they get their little card punched and
that's perfect.
Things like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately, right, as a business community, our goal, I think everybody wants everyone to be successful, and the chamber provides an avenue where we can network together and work together to provide that, but also just providing insight into what other people are dealing with. I think, Mercedes, you said it best when you're talking about employee engagement or what's going on with employees. Sometimes we feel like we're on a silo, and the chamber can help us to get out of that silo and to get out there. But also, I think that we talk about what the chamber in Spanish Fork means to the community, and we think about Spanish Fork 17 that's broadcasting this program, but we have something that's a gem in our community that a lot of other communities don't have. That Spanish Fork 17 comes to those ribbon cuttings. They put out those commercials for the business month and all those different things. And there's just a lot of things that the chamber can help each of our businesses to thrive.
Yeah. Have you guys attended our annual business summit that we have in the fall?
I've been there? I have it before. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes, I mean that's a great resource as well for business owners.
Yeah. That was the one that I attended was right before I was starting my business.
Okay.
So it really helped me kind of structure what I wanted my online presence to look like.
Right.
So it was super helpful for that.
Yeah.
And it can help from any size of business too, right? Like as you add that, like
Oh,
someone who's just starting up, or we're just starting, or Dickerson Auto that's been around for a long time that has a very big presence in the community.
Yeah. Sorry I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Oh, you're okay. I was just thinking about how I feel like it's like friendly competition in a way. Like it's really nice for us that even like sometimes we have really busy times of our year where we're scheduling a week out at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And there's certain customers that will call and be like, I need to get in like today, I'm going on a trip. And it's so nice to be able to have other automotive businesses even in the chamber to refer them to and know that we could trust that they'll get taken care of too. Because I never want to give someone a referral that's bad, especially a customer.
Right.
And so I love that that's part of the chamber. I think it's some people are like, oh, well, there's already 4 other hair salons or whatever, and it's not like that. It's not super competitive that way. You're not trying to steal from each other. You're really trying to help each other grow.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit different with hair versus like with clothing for us. Like the more clothing stores that Spanish Fork has to offer, the more people will actually come to our community and shop and frequent our stores.
Okay.
And so as our business community grows, our businesses all grow together.
Yeah.
How has the chamber membership been meaningful to you personally?
Ooh. One thing I really love is, and maybe not a lot of people know we do this, we actually have a Wheels with Heart program with Dickerson Automotive where we're actually able to give back to the community. And one thing, it kind of makes me teary-eyed even talking about it, but one thing that I absolutely love is that all these businesses rally behind us every time. Every time we're like, hey, we have a family that needs help, we're gonna help fix their car. Hands down, everyone will always jump in and be like, I don't have that, but I can donate a car wash, or I'll help donate money to fill the tank with gas. Like, it is seriously something that is very meaningful to me, and I love, love, love it, that it is part of the community that just brings us, it gives us a lot of pride to be here, and we're so proud to really be a part of that chamber.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's something that's meaningful to me with the chamber,
That's
because
awesome.
everyone really does give back.
Yeah.
It's
That's awesome. Mercedes,
huge.
how about you?
When I was 23, joining the chamber, I felt like I had no idea what I was doing. And having those business owners, and like still to this day, and having those connections and teaching me and guiding me and being there for me and answering my phone calls at midnight, like the chamber gave me that. So that's what I love. That's what's meaningful to me about the chamber.
Awesome, thank you. Tyler, what about you?
It gave me such a support between as I was starting and as I was trying to figure out what do I want my business to look like, what do I want my clients, what do I want them to feel like. I could go to the other chamber members and see what exactly that was, and that gave me such good support system, so I didn't feel nearly as lost as I was trying to understand what business is, how to do it. I had so many people. Todd was a big influence on that. There were a bunch of other chamber members that were just such a big influence on all of that, so that's what it was for me.
What kind of advice would you have for local businesses that aren't members or businesses that are members that aren't really involved?
I think ask for help and show up. Just really show up. Like even just come to one thing and you'll be so surprised at how many people will come up to you. You don't even, if you're the shy person and you don't like to approach people, like really just show up and we will help you. We will hold your hand and help you every step of the way. So I think that's probably one of my biggest ones, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
I think don't feel guilty if you don't show up every month. It's okay, you know.
Yeah.
So don't be hard on yourself and don't come back because you're like, I missed the last one, so I just won't come back. No, just come back. And even if you don't come back till the third month, just come back. That's what I do, and it still works out. And then if you haven't joined, you should join, just for the community benefits and being a part of your community. And maybe there's other business owners that need your help. You just don't know it. So that'd be my advice.
Yeah.
And I'd say getting involved in any way possible is one of the easiest ways you can get your name out there and get connected with the people that you're looking for. So yeah, if you're there at the events and if you're trying to find ways to help it to be more for them, then they're going to recognize that, and they're going to recognize, hey, you're trying to help build this. I want to see why you're trying to do that. Why are you such an awesome person?
Absolutely, yeah. And thanks to all of you for being part of our conversation today. We've heard a lot of great reasons that make membership in the chamber so important. Recently, we've started a new way of recognizing individuals or businesses that have gone out of their way to do more and make our community better. This is called the Random Acts of Recognition. The first recipient is Rod Fife. Let's watch that moment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathleen Levitt, CEO and President of the Chamber of Commerce in Spanish Fork. And today we are tuning in to recognize Rod Fife. He is the recipient of a new award that the Chamber is presenting. It is the Random Acts of Recognition Award. And what the award is its purpose is to highlight members of our community and businesses in our community that are going above and beyond the call of regular citizenship duty and doing kind things, doing generous things for the community. So we want to make sure we broadcast that and share the love with our lovely members of the community. So Rod, you were nominated for this award because you spent several days cleaning up the space behind the old Kmart building.
No, it only took about 3 hours.
There was 3 hours that you didn't have to donate your time to. So I was curious what inspired you to do that.
Needed to be done. Nobody was doing it, so I did it.
Absolutely. Well, that's the kind of spirit that we want to cultivate in this community. It's what makes us really great. And you've been involved in the chamber for a really long time, and the community.
About 14 years.
14 years? That's amazing. Yeah. What is it about Spanish Fork that keeps you coming back and contributing?
It's a great community, great people, great place to raise a family, just all the way around a good place to be.
Awesome. Well, we're lucky to have you as part of it, Rod. So we've got Hedro has donated an angel gift. It's an aluminum cutout extrusion. So it's a beautiful little angel, and it's all kinds of. I'm seeing Christmas ornament, but you can do really whatever you want with it. So this is from
I don't relate to
Hedro.
these, you know, that's,
Right, like more of the demon.
yeah, that's the little troublemakers.
Well, you can give it away. And then we've got a certificate for you, Rod, which just thanks you for your service. And then Crumble Cookies has donated. We're going to pretend like there's cookies in here, but yes, they're so delicious and heavy. But there are cookie cards in there so that you can go in and choose what flavors you want, because they've got a new flavor every week. So they're just right down the street. But yeah, unless anybody else has any questions that they are dying to know about you, Rod. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Thanks for everything you do.
Congratulations, Rod, and thanks for the help in doing some of those things that just needed to be done. We hope you enjoyed the cookies. If you know of someone that has given service to our community, contact the Chamber of Commerce. We would love to have your help in recognizing these do-gooders. As we conclude this episode of Chamber Today, we want to thank the leadership of the Chamber of Commerce, Spanish Fork City, and Spanish Fork 17 for their support. We look forward to being with you again with a new edition of Chamber Today. Thanks for watching and supporting our local businesses. Remember to shop local.